I'm so sorry, but no amount of money could make me hang out with an ugly dude. Like, I'm walking down the street in Miami. This is like the street in Brickell where you always see an ugly ass dude with the hottest girl on his arm.
No, you're ugly. The only way that you will even get a woman's attention is by paying for it, but your ego and pride is through the fucking roof that you don't want to do that. You think that you're fucking entitled to it. You think that you actually deserve it when you're butt fuck ugly. And mean, more importantly. All of my guy friends are handsome and nice to me. I wonder why that is. All in all, if you're an ugly man, I don't care about you.
Fuck out of.
Most men are deeply unattractive because of Mother Nature and something called the Great Scam.
Ever since I made that video on handsome men privilege, one thing I have learned is we don't call men ugly enough. We don't call men unattractive enough. We're not honest with men about how they actually look. And we need to start doing that. Because,
Unpopular opinion, but ugly guys need to stop getting with pretty girls.
Women, for years, decades, we have just been expected as the norm of the patriarchy to just like settle down with, marry, whatever, get with men who are ugly, right? And like, as long as they have a job and don't hit us, it's like, oh, marry me, yes, because it's like, they set the system up to where like women for decades weren't able to get resources on their own, so they had no choice but to just marry any old ugly fat bald motherfucker because he had resources, and she, that was a way of life back then for a woman.
A broke man will always be your biggest hater. Therefore, don't take anything that comes out of a broke man's mouth seriously, because even if you're incredibly talented and smart and skillful and ambitious, they're never going to admit it, because admitting it means they have to admit that you're capable of something that they're not. Because if they were those things, they would not be a broke man. And that's why they're mad. They're mad because you have qualities that they wish that they had, or that they want to have, but they just don't know how to, or they're just too lazy, or they're not disciplined enough. So don't think that everything a broke man says to you is true, and don't take it to heart, because their only purpose is to try to diminish your self-esteem with their words. Because if they actually had money, they would just spend their money on you because they want you to feel good about yourself, because they feel good about themselves. And broke men don't feel good about themselves. That's why they can't make you feel good about yourself either. So anytime they say something to you and it's just so outrageous, feel sorry for them, because they don't feel good about themselves on the inside, and they're just trying to make you feel bad about yourself too. Don't take it to heart.
They can get dopamine hits through playing video games. They can get every type of food that they want just delivered to them. They can shut the doors, get everything that fuels them on these synthetic fake dopamine hits, and not have to even acknowledge the losers that they are. And it's a tipping point for men, because men are more wired in a way where they are extrinsically motivated. Men live so much of their lives in the external. Women internalize a lot of their pains. We also live internally. We can be motivated to be better because we just want to be better. Most of the time, men need the external. They need the external dopamine, but now they can get all of those rewards without having to do anything. And it's causing them to be lazy. It's causing them to be broke. It's causing them to be overweight. It's causing them to be emotionally immature. Basically, it's causing them not to evolve. And this is a significant problem. And my response to this was, I was like, I completely agree. And my only advice is, you ought not to want to be a loser. Somewhere y'all have to find the intrinsic motivation to not want to be a loser, because it's easy to do it. And I fear that the only way out is you have to stop being a loser. It's the only way out of this.
Girl that came out in here talking about shot man epidemic, it's so iconic. I love her for that. More, I love to see all the men being so hurt and offended by it. And it's so funny, because if you come to think about it, you cannot hold the men to a standard. If you call them poor, you're gonna be offended. If you call them lazy, they're just gonna be misogynistic back at you. And the list goes on and on and on. But she's fucking right. You are all here rating women by numbers on social media without washing your fucking ass because you think it's gay. With dirty ass nails, greasy hair. Like, have you seen those viral videos when it's one haircut in a man makes it look like a whole different person? And some of you all don't even get that. And what's like for a haircut in a man? 20 bucks? So yeah, I love to see it, and let's make it a trend to call men ugly back on the internet and also in your everyday life, because they deserve it. They don't care about you unless you're pretty. So why would we care about them?